The following program is an MLWRadio.com production.
I knew day in and day out I was the best wrestler alive today. Woo! I've got the style and profile like never before.
The Ric Flair Show.
Woo!
The world heavyweight champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Woo!
The 16-time world champion back behind the mic and telling it like it is.
If you're not carrying the big gold, you're second best no matter what you tell yourself.
And now, Ric Flair and Conrad Thompson.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nature Boy Ric Flair, 16 times your world champion, as we all know, along with my legendary co-host, Conrad Thompson, entrepreneur, lover, owner of the Conradison, the second wealthiest man in Alabama, and the most popular co-host in all of podcast world.
No, that's great, man. I appreciate it, dude. I'm excited to be here on the show with you, and I feel like we have more listeners this week. You made some headlines this week, and let's get into the headlines this week. We like to call it our Figure 4 Top Stories. It's brought to you by the official Space Mountain t-shirt, available now at RicFlairShow.com's online store. Just click the merch tab at the top of the page, and you'll be styling and profiling in your very own Space Mountain t-shirt. That's right, kids. Remember, it's the oldest ride, the longest line, and these days everybody from the New York Daily News to World Star Hip Hop is talking about Space Mountain, and now you can grab your shirt today at RicFlairShow.com. Just click the merch tab at the top, and you'll get a great shirt for under $20. All right, Rick, this week's top story, number one, Alberto Del Rio is in the news again. He had a lot of heat on him this Sunday for no showing the AAA show, and that led to rumors that he would be debuting at TNA, which he did not. And then on Monday, he posted a statement and pictures that he was attacked with a knife. Have you heard about this?
I did hear about it. I sure did. As a matter of fact, I heard about it yesterday. So I just reached out to him, but I haven't heard back. So I'm assuming it's okay.
Have you been attacked like this before? It seems like something from
No.
years ago.
No, I've been in the years ago. We got in a lot of fights, but I've never been attacked with a knife or anything. No, I've seen guys get stabbed, but I haven't been stabbed. So thank God.
What a crazy world we live in, where professional wrestlers are being stabbed in 2016.
Yeah, well, these guys in the old days, they'd hit the ring with their knives, and like we were in Richmond, Virginia, and Jack Mulligan had me in the backbreaker, which was his finish. Superstar Bill Eadie hit the ring to make the save, and we had a full-scale riot, and Eadie got stabbed. So, yeah, but it was tough getting out of there. So I've seen some tough stuff, but lucky enough, I haven't been stabbed. I was also there the night that they cut Ole Anderson from his neck to his waist in Greenville, South Carolina, which was terrible. So
Yeah.
I certainly have seen it. I've been lucky enough to avoid it.
A friend of the show, Peggy Lathan, I think, was there that night when Ole was cut, and it's a pretty legendary story that's been covered before. And Del Rio's a friend of the show, man, and we hope he's okay. And he says he's not going to miss any dates, and you just hate to hear about something like this happening, especially in 2016. It doesn't seem like a real-life situation.
It just happened to Jamie Noble, too. So Jamie is one of our top agents. He's in the hospital, and he's not in very good condition.
So what have you heard about that? For those of you who don't know, Jamie Noble, who is a longtime performer with WWE, is now a backstage agent for the company. And there was, what seemed like a make-believe story that he was stabbed twice in his home in West Virginia, or around his home in West Virginia, just for cutting a guy off in traffic. That just seems unbelievable that we're having two of these stories in the exact same week. Have you spoken to Jamie?
I have not. But I just know he took the guy down and started the fight, and his two buddies jumped on top of him. And, of course, it's always in situations like that, it's going to be two or three guys on one. So I hope he's okay. I have not heard, but I'll be checking up on him today.
Let's get to, I would say happier news, maybe not. It's top story number 2. We have a new women's champion on Raw. Charlotte dropped the belt to Sasha Banks this week in the main event of Raw, and it's one of the few times the ladies have actually had that main event spot on the show. I know you watched it. What did you think of the match, and what do you think is next for Charlotte?
Well, first of all, I thought the match was fantastic. They keep coming up with new stuff, and it's amazing. They have phenomenal chemistry, and you know, the moonsault with the corkscrew moonsault last night was something that only she could do. So it actually, I'm shocked at how great she is, and Sasha equally as good. They have great chemistry, and I mean, you know, when they're having the best match on the show, the boys need to look at what's going on.
Yeah, I
mean, that's my take on it.
I thought you did a fantastic job in the match. Obviously, both girls put on a really fantastic performance. Some phenomenal bumps taken by both, and I really feel like Ashley has come into her own with the little things like the facials, and you know, in between the big moves, she's really telling a story. I thought it was maybe her best match on Raw so far.
Yeah, I thought it was phenomenal. It's hard to say which is their best because the one they had, a couple months ago was great as well. But I've never seen them have a bad one. That's the key thing. So it's nice to see two of the premier athletes, period, in the company get the recognition they deserve.
A couple years ago, JR referred to Sasha Banks and Charlotte as the modern-day female equivalent of Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat. Would you agree with that assessment?
They're close. They're probably better from the standpoint they do a lot more aerial stuff than Steamboat and I did. We were not that Steamboat couldn't have done the moonsaults and all that, but we didn't do. It wasn't called for back then. I mean, he was certainly athletic enough, but you know, the key to our, as we talked about last week, Ricky and I just kept moving. We never stopped, and that's pretty much what Sasha and Ashley did last night. 20 minutes nonstop. Huge bumps, which was Steamboat and I took big bumps in that, but just spectacular. And to see them on the main event tells you how much respect and pride the company and Vince McMahon has for the girls, for those two girls.
A couple of weeks ago, or I guess it's been now a couple of months ago, you kind of teased that Charlotte had a Neville-type move planned for SummerSlam. Was that the move we saw last night?
No, that's coming. That'll be a hell in the cell. You don't even know she can't wait to get in the cage.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to it. That looks like it's coming down the pike sooner rather than later.
If that match comes up, that's my understanding, but that could change tomorrow. So.
Well, Hell in a Cell is the next Raw pay-per-view, and after last night, if she's not in line for a rematch, I don't know who is. Let's go to top story number 3. Speaking of pay-per-view, this weekend is the second SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. They're calling it No Mercy. That's from the left coast. Let's run through some matches, Rick, and see who you got here. We finally get the match between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. This one's been planned for a little bit, but Randy was not able to compete, so they called an audible, and Bray Wyatt faced Kane at the last pay-per-view. But now it looks like it's finally going to happen. Who you got, Rick, Randy Orton or Bray Wyatt?
Well, I think the world of both of them, but I'm going to go with Randy.
Yeah, I think Randy needs the win here, given his SummerSlam match. But it'll be curious to see where they go with Bray after that. Yeah. Let's do the SmackDown.
Well, he's got so much talent, he can do whatever he wants to do. I mean, they have 1,000 different ways to go with him.
I think I consider Bray Wyatt almost like an Undertaker, Jake Roberts doesn't have to have the belt type of character. Would you agree with that?
I would totally agree with it.
Let's go to the SmackDown Tag Team title match. All of a sudden, these guys are pretty damn over. It's Heath Slater and Rhino, and they're going to be defending their titles against the Usos, who've recently undertaken a little bit of a character change. They're now the bad guys. Who do you see coming away in this, Slater and Rhino or the Usos?
I think it's the Usos' turn. They're a tremendous team, and I actually miss seeing them on Raw, so that's... I just have, I like everybody involved in the match, but I like the Usos as a team. They're one of the better teams I've seen in a long time.
I really enjoy their new paradigm shift as characters. I'm hoping that this becomes a really good deal for them. Let's go to a match I know you'll be paying close attention to, the SmackDown Women's title match. It'll be our champion Becky Lynch taking on Alexa Bliss, who's recently gotten the call-up from NXT and has been put into a primetime spot here, getting a title match. Who do you got, Becky Lynch or Alexa Bliss?
Well, I am really impressed with Becky, of course, and I'm very close to her through her relationship with Charlotte. But Alexis looks great. I mean, it's hard to say. I'm going to go with Becky, of course. But Alexa Bliss has done a great job, and she looks great in the ring.
Let's go to a match that I know you're pretty close with both of these guys. The career versus title match for the Intercontinental title. It'll be the champion Miz taking on Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler's putting his career on the line here for a shot at the title one more time. Who do you see coming away with this one?
Well, once again, I like and respect both guys a lot, but I can't see Dolph Ziggler retiring, so I'm going to go with Dolph.
I really hope that
he's way too young to be retiring.
I really hope that all the talk that he's winding up and all that goes away, and that he does get a good spot here with the Intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm.
Championship match. Here it is, our main event. The champ AJ Styles will take on the face that runs the place, John Cena, and of course your good friend Dean Ambrose. You obviously have a great personal relationship with all three. This match has to deliver. John Cena and AJ Styles have been on a roll of delivering big-time matches this year. I expect that streak to continue, but who do you see leaving with the belt this Sunday?
Well, it's tough to say. Once again, I like all three guys a lot. I think the momentum right now is AJ, and momentum speaks a lot for the direction the company will go. And, unless they're going to run with someone again for a long period of time, I think that they need to establish AJ as a champion for a longer period of time before he's in a position to get beat. Not to say it can't happen, because what do I know about wrestling?
So you don't think we see John Cena tie your record with 16 this Sunday?
No, I don't. I mean, if it's going to happen, I think it would be John at WrestleMania in a situation like that. But I'm not opposed to that by any means, but I just think that if you flip flop it around too much, it loses the it's not as what am I looking for?
It's not as special at No Mercy as it might be at a bigger show.
Yeah, it's just not. They keep moving it around. Nobody, if somebody misses a show, all of a sudden they get a new world champion every week. You know what I mean? So
right.
I think it's good for, it's not the brand, but I think it's good for an individual and for the company with momentum. And AJ is doing a great job with it. So why turn it around?
Well, let's get to top story number 4 here. You made global news this week with the Holly Berry revelation. Any follow-up you'd like to add, Nature Boy?
Well, I don't understand all the hoopla. I mean, really, the way it was worded to me is celebrity, right? Well, if you think about it, I've been thinking about it since all this went down. I'm the celebrity. Any chick that I'm with, I'm the celebrity. Who are they? Are you kidding me? If the wrestling world was allowed at the Academy Awards, I'd have 10 Academy Awards right now. Pull up some of my promos. You kidding? How about the one where I handcuffed myself in Baltimore in my underwear? That's an Academy Award performance. So if I look at this relation stuff, it's crazy. Like, who's the celebrity besides me? Hello? Ric Flair / who?
Well, what's funny is in this era we live in where everything is social media these days.
So what if I had said no one here was old enough to remember her?
That's worth a Google, kids. If you're listening from your computer, throw in she is a woman. You'll enjoy. Yeah,
she sang at the Super Bowl. I was there. Oh, yeah.
Well, this feels like a good time to go to commercial before we get ourselves in trouble. But the commercial is probably worth sticking around for. Don't go anywhere. More Ric Flair Show. Okay, Rick, I've got to tell you, I've been looking forward to this commercial all week. We get to talk about our friends at Casper. And Casper, as you know, sells the absolute world's best mattress. And I think the whole world knows now that you have a little experience on mattresses. Isn't that right?
Well, if anybody can sell a mattress, it should be me. Are you kidding me?
Well, here's what Nature Boy likes so much about this mattress. It combines just the right sink and just the right bounce, and it does this through springy latex and supportive memory foam. Plus, it has a breathable design that lets you sleep cool and regulate your temperature throughout the night. And this is as easy as it gets. They don't have to go ahead and have you go down and lay in a bed for a few minutes and know, is this really where I want to be? You get a guarantee here. It's a 100-night home trial. That's right. It's risk-free, and you get to sleep on it for 100 nights. You'll never know at those mattress stores in just a few minutes, is this the one for you? Oh, and here's the other difference. It's way more affordable. Mattresses can cost more than $1,500, but Casper mattresses only cost $500 for a twin size, $750 for a full, $850 for a queen, and $950 for a king. These things have been obsessively engineered at a shockingly fair price. It combines all the right stuff. We're talking springy latex, supportive memory foam, and you create an award-winning sleep for yourself. Time magazine even named it one of the best inventions of 2015. This is an award-winning mattress that won't disappoint.
Conrad, simply put, it's the best mattress in the marketplace today.
And it's made in America and has free shippings and returns, and you get to try it for 100 nights. If you don't love it, they'll pick it up and refund you everything. Check this out.
Yeah, I have to turn mine in every 100 nights.
He's putting a lot of miles on his, and you will yours too. Go to Casper.com/Flair and use that promo code. What is it, Rick?
FLAIR, Flair.
Casper.com/Flair. You're going to get an extra $50 off. Just use promo code Flair. If you enjoy the show, if you enjoy a great night's sleep, go to Casper.com/Flair, enter promo code Flair, and you're good to go. Casper.com.
Woo!
All right, Rick, now we're talking about our friends over at Loot Crate, and what I like so much about Loot Crate is that they have partnered with the WWE for what we call the WWE Slam Crate. And here's what you get, and this is a big deal. You get a lot of firsts in WWE history. You get an old shirt that's back from the grave, something you can't get on the WWE Shop Zone. You also get accessories from a special First Lady. You get an insane clothing accessory. You get the first card from Austin Aries, and some crates will even have autographed versions, and you get a special treat to commemorate the first in-ring destruction of its kind. Now, here's what you need to know about this. It's stuff you can't get anywhere else, people. You get one every 2 months. That's all you've got to do. You go ahead and click the button. Every 2 months, you've got a brand new box of gear right at your home. And for less than $30, you'll get more than $60 retail value in every crate. It's like half price. It includes licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. And now, just because you listen to the Ric Flair Show, you get to save $3 off any new subscription. So get ready to rumble and head to lootcrate.com/Flair and enter that promo code. What is it, Rick?
FLAIR.
And don't wait. There are limited quantities here. Once they're gone, they're gone. So get the very best in WWE swag and save $3. Just go to lootcrate.com/Flair and enter that promo code. What is it, Rick?
It's FLAIR.
WWE Slam Crate. Get you some.
Woo! I'm going to bring everybody up to speed about me. In 1975, an airplane was 4,000 feet in the air. It went whoom, got crashed into the ground, and they said Ric Flair would never wrestle again. 6 months later, I was standing in the ring wearing gold. Woo! Woo! Woo!
You're listening to The Ric Flair Show.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
The Ric Flair Show. And now, more Ric Flair.
Mr. Bisbing, sir, welcome to the Ric Flair Show. My name is Conrad Thompson, and our master of ceremonies is the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and it's an honor to have the UFC Middleweight Champion on the line with us. How are you today, sir?
No. The pleasure and the honor is all mine to speak to the wonderful, the great, the one and only Mr. Ric Flair.
Thank you, sir. Hey, good luck to you Saturday night, man.
My pleasure.
Yeah, Manchester's a tremendous market for us to wrestle in, so I can only imagine how enthusiastic the fans will be for your fight.
Yeah, the fans are pretty excited. The arena sold out in 6 minutes, which is pretty crazy. So, they're all excited for the fight. Dan Henderson is a one-punch knockout artist that actually knocked me out back in 2009. So this is revenge. It's time to get that one back and beat up the old man.
Well,
that's great.
You avenged your loss against Luke Rockhold to win this UFC championship, and now you're trying to avenge this Hendo loss from UFC 100. Which of those two has really stuck with you the most and been the fight you were really most motivated to avenge?
Well, I guess, to be honest, over the years, the one against Dan Henderson, really. I mean, the one against Rockhold, I mean, I wasn't that bothered about it, really, but I got a chance to get that one, set the record straight, knocked him out cold, took his title, and in my next fight now I get to get revenge against Dan Henderson, you know. This is a guy that, you know, he's had this coming for a while. You know, he's a tough old son of a bitch. He really is. He can knock out anybody with one punch. I've got to be careful out there. But you know, I can get the job done, believe you me.
Well, we're certainly hoping. We're pulling for you, man. I know Dan. I've met him a couple of times. He was a really good amateur wrestler here in the States. So I thought his strength would be more wrestling, but I didn't know he was a great knockout artist.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. That's his big thing. He used to wrestle a lot back in his early days. But these days, he's all about that right hand, the H-bomb, as he calls it, you know. So
yeah.
I've suffered in the hands of the H-bomb once before, but Americans do not drop bombs in England. We're fighting in Manchester.
Yeah.
There's no H-bomb. It's going to be one uppercut that's going to knock him off. He's face mounted, my friend. He's going to blast stratosphere, and he's going to land on the...
I love that. Now you sound like Ric Flair.
I love it. I love it. Henderson went airborne against you to get one final shot in back at UFC 100 in 2009, and he started using a silhouette of that punch as a logo for his brand. How badly does that get under your skin, and how much are you looking forward to this weekend?
You know, it doesn't really get under my skin. Does it irritate me a little bit? Yeah, it irritates me. You know, it's slightly annoying. I wouldn't say that it keeps me up at night. It certainly doesn't get my blood boiling. But it's okay, because in 3 days' time, I get to get revenge. I'm going to knock him out, and I'm going to flick him off the end of my shoe like a piece of dog shit. I'm never going to hear from him ever again.
I love this. You're better than Conor McGregor, man.
Yeah, fuck Conor McGregor. He's thinking the real deal right now. I was doing this when Conor McGregor was still fucking looking for his Lucky Charms.
We are so thrilled you took the time to come on the show. I'm dying to ask you, what was your take on CM Punk?
You know, God bless him. You know, it takes balls to step into the octagon and fight. It really does. And to start a fight career at the highest level, that's a tough ask for anybody. And then it prior to the fight, you know, I respect the balls that he had on display there for going out and doing that. I really do. Okay, he didn't win the fight, but he was man enough to try and do it. And I respect that. I do. You know, you can't all win. I understand CM Punk is a big draw. I understand the business aspect of it. A lot of the other fighters are kind of pissed off about it. But at the end of the day, it is a business, and he does have a fan base. So I understand the business side. I respect him for giving it a try. And, you know, best of luck to him in the future.
Yeah, we pretty much said the same thing. I mean, to talk about doing it's one thing. To actually get in the octagon and do it takes a lot of balls and a lot of training and a lot of dedication. And, you know, it's hard to put that together in that short a period of time. But that was our take, too, just getting in it and giving it his best. Whether he won or lost, at least he fulfilled his dream. You know what I mean? Yeah,
no, absolutely. It really does. You know, he's going in there against the best guys in the world. That's what I said. And you said it yourself. It takes balls, man. It takes a big pair of cojones to step in there. You know, so, yeah, God bless him. But right now, all I'm thinking about is kicking Dan Henderson in his cojones. Yep. You know, I might miss his head and kick him in the balls by accident. Who knows?
Well, the fight takes place...
God knows I owe him one. Maybe I'll give him a cheeky little headbutt in there as well.
That would be fun. The fight takes place this Saturday from Manchester, England, and a lot of folks may not realize this, Bisbing, but you're training in California these days, so there is going to be a big time difference for you. What type of effect does that time difference have in a big fight like this for you?
Yeah, I've lived down in California now for 5 years. So the good thing is the fight is actually being shown on Californian time. So we've flown out here to Manchester, but the fight's happening at 5 a.m. to the U.S. pay-per-view audience. So all I've got to do really is stay on California time. So I'm sat here with all my team. We're actually eating breakfast at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we're going to sit up here. We'll train later, and then we sit here talking shit, telling stupid jokes, farting, till 5 a.m. in the morning, and then we go to sleep. So it's kind of a boring routine, but that's what we're going to do. We're fighting at 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, Dan, is your family in Manchester? I mean, Michael or other?
Yeah,
is your family in Manchester?
Yeah, sorry, I got a lot of family. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're all here. They're all
I bet they're really proud. They'll all be in attendance, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they're all very, very proud, and we're looking for a good victory Saturday night, and they're all excited.
Yeah, I wish we could come. Conrad's one of these guys that'll rent a Learjet to go out to Vegas to see the UFC. I guess he figured that a Learjet couldn't carry enough gas to get to Manchester. He'd probably be there. But he's been so excited, as have I, for you to come on our show because of not only your stature in the business, but the man that you are. And we hope you do great. Hey, can I ask you one more question?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
How tough do you think Brock Lesnar is?
How tough do I think Brock Lesnar is? Listen, I respect any man that steps into the octagon because it takes balls.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go in there and take steroids to do it, fuck you pussy son of a bitch. Kiss my ass. I will knock Brock Lesnar out with one fucking punch. I will pick him up, throw him around the octagon like the pussy that he is. I might make myself clear. Fuck you, Brock Lesnar. Fuck steroids. Fuck all you fucking faggots when I come on here and say steroids. I make myself clear. I shouldn't have used that hard ass. Sorry about that. But other than that, steroids are the scourge of this sport, and anyone that takes them, kiss my ass.
Yeah, well, I don't have a comment on that because I have to see him next week.
Yeah.
And I'm not as tough as you.
Tell him I said, what's up? Tell him I say hi.
I won't even bring that subject up to him. He scares me. I used to have to wrestle him. That was bad enough. Oh, my God.
Well,
yeah. No, I know. No, he's a big son of a bitch, but as I said, real men don't cheat in a real fight. In your world, it's entertainment. You've got to look good. You've got to be big, and especially for the audience. You guys, good for you. In a real fight, you shouldn't be cheating and taking steroids. Oh, I got Gordon Ramsay up to the line.
Yeah. So I know you've got to be a friend and a fan of Jones too. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. It's a shame to John Jones. John Jones is incredibly talented, and he's one of the best. He's probably the best fighter that we've ever had. He's just incredible. He's got some personal demons, obviously. He keeps making mistakes, keeps getting in trouble. So I wish him the best. I really do. And, hopefully we get to see him inside the octagon again. I don't like to kick a man while he's down. John Jones has never done wrong to me. He's never, he's always been a good guy to be around. So he's got some demons, obviously. Maybe he needs to talk to somebody and try and straighten out his life, and I wish him the best.
Yeah, he's a very respectful guy and a fan of my business as well. Conrad, you're going to ask him, I get it. One more thing, and I know you got to go and do all your stuff in preparation, and you're on a radio tour, but you think Ronda Rousey will come back?
Yeah, I think so. From what I'm hearing from Dana White, she was, she was working hard. She was, the face of the organization for a while. She took a break, had some time off. I hear she's coming back at the end of the year, and we all need time off now and again. This is a crazy business, what we do.
Yes.
Similar to you guys, we're on the road for a long, long time, and, it's hard on the body. She took some time off, and according to Dana, she might fight by the end of the year. So I'm sure everyone's going to be very excited for that.
Yeah, that's great. I always wondered, it seemed to me like if you lose your psyche, I worry that she doesn't come back and have another bad experience because she's a wonderful person. I've gotten to meet her several times.
Yeah.
Well, this weekend is what it's.
This is a cool business. One person wins, one person loses every single time.
And that's what's going to happen. Don't miss it. It's UFC 204 this Saturday from Manchester. It's sold out, but you can still tune in on pay-per-view. Don't miss it. It is UFC 204. The champ is going to be there, Michael Bisbing, the UFC middleweight champion, looking to avenge his UFC 100 loss against Dan Henderson. Thank you so much for the time
Michael,
today.
Thank you so much, sir. So appreciated. And good luck.
Yeah, nice talking to you guys.
Well, how about that, man?
Fuck, that's pretty good shit.
I gotta say, Michael Bisping has one of, if not the very best stories in the UFC.
Yeah.
To start on the Ultimate Fighter, be in the organization as long as he has, then finally get his only title shot on 2 weeks' notice, and win the belt, avenging an old loss. It's almost storybook stuff. And if you're even a casual fan of the UFC, I can't recommend his special they're running right now on FS1 enough. It really gives you all the info you need about his career and a peek behind the curtain about what motivates him today. And you can tell from listening to him, Rick, he grew up a wrestling fan because he's a hell of a promo.
Yeah, he's got attitude, man, and charisma, and he's good. So that's a nice way to run your life. So best of luck to him, Conrad. Thank you so much. The show was a great one. Once again, hopefully we won't get the reaction we got last week.
Well, we're stirring up a little controversy with his comments about Brock Lesnar, but as our mutual friend Eric Bischoff says, controversy creates cash, and they're looking to do that this weekend at UFC 204. Check it out. In the undercard, worth mentioning, Gegard Mousasi is going to take on Vitor Belfort. Belfort is the person who damaged Bisbing's eye. So if you see our promotional photos of Michael Bisbing and you notice he has some damage in his eye,
see it,
that comes from a head kick in 2013 from Vitor. Bisbing lost that fight, and he since Vitor's in the undercard, you got to think that's what they're setting up for a rematch. And as you can hear, the Nature Boy is under the weather. So let's get to the rest of the show. Let's get to Ask Naitch. Let's get to Voicemail of the Week. Let's get to This Week in History. We'll be right back on The Ric Flair Show.
My name is Ric Flair, and this is How to Be the Man. Actually, this is what it's like to be the man. To arrive at the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, be ushered privately by police from the Atlanta Police Department to the sidelines of the Atlanta Falcons, to stand there with Dwight Howard, talk with Julio Jones, shake hands with Matt Ryan, shake hands with Arthur Blank, the owner, to be honored, treated, and escorted up to owner's box. This past Sunday, that's what happened to me and to my family, and that is what it is to be the man. I'm Ric Flair, and I said that. Woo!
If you want to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Woo!
Don't miss a minute of The Ric Flair Show. Subscribe on iTunes now.
In Ric Flair, who you're looking at, the man. Woo!
Woo! The Ric Flair Show.
With an erection that is so rigid, you can strike matches on it.
And now, more Ric Flair.
It's time for This Week in History on The Ric Flair Show. Woo! Brought to you by MidAtlanticGateway.com.
Dick Bourne and David Chappell are celebrating the memories of Jim Crockett Promotions every day at MidAtlanticGateway.com.
Flair just saved the game. Pedigree getting his head busted up with a sledgehammer. The pedigree, the cover, the count, the victory.
Here's Carlito, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and Triple H.
I tell you what, the game better give Ric Flair a big old hug, and there you go, because Ric Flair just saved Triple H from leaving with some stitches in the back of his head.
Well, you're right. The masterpiece had that sledgehammer of Triple H is cocked and loaded. It's about to deliver from behind. Ric Flair just gave a hammer back to Triple H. That Triple H is trademark. What a victory. Carlito and Master just went to the woodshed.
Well, this crowd is loving the fact that the game is back on Raw, and nobody loves it more.
Certainly not the last time we'll see these two guys together. Here we'll see. Oh, my God! My God! What? For the my God! Triple H just hit Flair in the face with a sledgehammer. What is that about? My God! What? Why? What was that for? What the? My God! The sledgehammer to the face. For what? God! Oh my God! What? Oh, Flair has been busted wide open at the hands of that sledgehammer and his best friend. What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you? My God! Look at his right hand. Those right hands are just pummeling. Flair's defenseless. busted wide open.
I'm speechless. I don't know what.
Oh, my God. Why?
Why is right? What's he thinking?
This is unpardonable.
What the hell did Flair ever do to Triple H to deserve this?
That's a great question I cannot answer.
What is the matter with you?
What's the game saying to him? I try to hear. What is he thinking?
Listen. This is enough. Enough is enough. You've done your damage, gang. No. The second time that sledgehammer driven in the face of Ric Flair, my God.
Somebody want to do something about it? No one is.
God, why? Oh my God, Flair's a bloody mess. His face is a crimson mass, and the game is not through with Flair yet. You gotta stop this. You gotta stop this. No! Right in front of all these legends, another legend is being decimated. But why, gang? What the hell?
Come on, not more. This is enough.
2 shots.
We gotta get somebody needs to
get the security out here. Get security out here. Flair is hurt bad. Come on. Stop this. Stop this.
What is he doing?
Limousine riding, jet flying. Piece of crap.
This is amazing. It's hideous.
Get that no good piece of crap out of my building.
The debauchery, the vileness, and why?
All right, Rick, let's go to this week's Week in History, and this is one I've wanted to talk about for a long time. I think it's one of the more underrated feuds in your career, and because it happened later, maybe it gets overlooked. It's Monday, October 3rd, 2005, and we're at the American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas. You're tagging with Triple H and Chris against Chris Masters and Carlito, and towards the end of the match, you help make the save so Triple H can get the win with a pedigree. You guys start to celebrate, and then all of a sudden, he attacks you and really does a number on you. He's using a sledgehammer. You're bleeding all over the place. They go to commercial. And when we come back, he's still beating you up, but now you're in the backstage. He eventually throws you in a limo, smashes the window out, and the limo squeals off, and you're out of there. And this always stood out to me because a couple of weeks after this, on October 17th, you would come to the ring wearing a white shirt and bloody yourself during a promo, and then it would lead to 2 pay-per-view matches on November 1st in a cage at Taboo Tuesday in San Diego.
Yep.
And then later in a last man standing match against Triple H in Detroit at Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. Do you consider these some of your last great matches of your career?
Yes, most definitely. Mostly because he carried me, as I mentioned about Sean. But at that point in time, I could still pull off my end, and the cage match we had in San Diego was special. I mean, for me, it's a lot of blood, and he likes to bleed too. He's not shy. And then of course, Detroit was great. I Quit. I mean, what was the last man standing?
That's right.
Yeah, and I thought we had a hell of a match there too. And of course, for me to be able to work with him at his peak, you know what I mean? And obviously, I was in the big decline, but he helped me, and it really gave me a lot of confidence. And the promo, I know it's your favorite promo, the one that I did a shirt where I was beating on my head. People thought I was a little bit out of it. But, I've always had fun. I can get excited, and it's so much fun to be at that level. And in the main event with Triple H, I mean, forget the fact he's one of my closest friends ever. He's, one of the greatest wrestlers that ever lived. And, that went on for almost 2 years, I think. But then to work against him was fabulous. So, anytime we have great chemistry, and it was just, I was in such a great place to be with him. So.
Yeah, and if you're listening at home and you've never actually seen this promo that I was talking about that I like so much, it's October 17th, 2005. You don't want to miss it, and you don't want to miss this week's Ask Naitch. It made headlines all over the world last week. Let's see what Rick has in store for us this week on Ask Naitch. Stay tuned.
Ask Naitch, brought to you by lootcrate.com/Flair. Get exclusive WWE swag you can't get anywhere else right now at lootcrate.com/Flair. Use promo code Flair to get $3 off your WWE Slam Crate. If you'd like to ask Rick a question, just tweet using hashtag AskNaitch, and we can ask your question next week on the show.
All right, Rick, this week's Ask Naitch, we made a lot of waves last week, and we're back at it again this week. Our question comes to us from Sean Valentino on Twitter, and if you'd like to ask a question, just use hashtag AskNaitch. We could hit you up next week. Sean wants to know, Ric Flair is the Hefner of wrestling. Does Rick have any good Playboy Mansion stories?
Oh, actually, I've been twice. I've been to the one in L.A. and I've been to the one in Tokyo. And I've been out with Hefner probably 4 or 5 times. But I don't really have any stories that are any more exciting than the Marriott. In the old days, the Playboy Mansion is what it is. The Marriott was our party.
Bruce was telling me that amongst his visits to the Playboy Mansion, that there's like hidden areas, so there's parts that people never really see.
Oh, for sure.
You got any fun stories from any of those trips?
No, I don't. I wish I could tell you. Once again, if I tell you something that's not true, when I tell you something that's the truth, you're not going to believe me. So, you know me, a bunch of naked women running around. What does that mean? That's like you at the ballet.
Well, all right. On that note, let's move around. Let's go to this week.
But I have been out with Hugh, and brother, he travels in some heavy company, man. Wow. Good Lord.
I'm going to let my imagination run wild on that one.
Yeah.
We've got a fun question that kind of relates to all of this in this week's voicemail of the week.
Hit me.
When the Nature Boy comes to town, man, things are taking place. And he's coming to the Big Apple tomorrow. That's right. Thursday, October 4th. You can catch the Naitch at the New York Comic Con. Go to NewYorkComicCon.com for all the details, pictures, autographs, the whole bit. New York Comic Con tomorrow, Thursday, October 4th. This weekend, he'll be in the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando. That's going to be for Spooky Empire on Friday, October 7th. Don't miss him in Orlando. He's jet-setting again the next day. He's going to the Do It Best Corp Fall Market with the Delta Faucet Corporation at the Indianapolis Convention Center. Don't miss it. It's Saturday, October 8th. He's all over the place this week. New York, Orlando, Indianapolis. When's he coming to your town? Well, it's easy to see. Just go to RicFlairShow.com, click on the Appearances tab, and find out when the Nature Boy is going to be limousine riding and jet flying in your town.
Make plans to go to WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. Don't miss out on the wildest kickoff party ever as the world of MLW Radio invades Tier Night Club in Orlando Thursday night, March 30th. It's Wale Mania 3, featuring a meet and greet, a live podcast with who's who in the wrestling biz, a live performance by the Grammy-nominated hip-hop artist Wale, and a Vegas-style after-party. Get wild with MLW, Thursday, March 30th, 2017. Tickets go on sale this fall at MLW.com.
Goodness gracious, quick balls of fire!
Woo! The Ric Flair Show. Don't miss a minute of The Ric Flair Show. Subscribe on iTunes now.
Nature Boy Ric Flair, the heavyweight champion of the world.
Custom-made clothes.
And any woman in the world I want. Just like that.
And now, more Ric Flair. Voicemail of the week is brought to you by Casper.com/Flair. Try the most awarded mattress in the industry for 100 nights risk-free with free shipping and returns at Casper.com/Flair. Get $50 off using promo code Flair. If you'd like to be on next week's Voicemail of the Week, just call the Ric Flair Show hotline. 844-RIC-SHOW. Leave your name, city you're from, and your hot take. If you've got what it takes to style and profile on the show, call now, toll free, 844-RIC-SHOW. Now, here's this week's Voicemail of the Week.
Hi, Rick. Hi, Conrad. This is Dr. Phil Payne calling from Dallas, Texas. And my question today is about the technology that we enjoy today with cell phone videos and social media. Had that been around in the 80s, would that have slowed you down any, sir? Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
All right, Rick, that's a great question. If the social media and smartphone era had begun in the 80s, would that have changed your behavior at all in the 80s? Would you have slowed down even a bit?
Well, I don't know if that would have slowed down, but it certainly would have shortened my career. I'd probably be, cutting promos and inmates in jail. Because obviously the antics that, or the things that I did in the 80s wouldn't be permissible at all. And it wasn't like anybody was hurting anybody, but I'll use myself as an example rather than drag anybody else in there, but I had a lot of fun. And, I didn't rob any banks. I didn't do any drugs, but I certainly kept myself and everybody else around me entertained.
Yeah.
The best way to put it.
Lots of balloons and candles would agree with that statement.
Exactly.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's give some Twitter love to our friends. Of course, you can follow the show on Twitter at Ric Flair Show. I am at Hey, it's Conrad. We are hosted by at MLW. Mid-Atlantic Gateway. If you love Jim Crockett Promotions, you'll love Mid-Atlantic Gateway. They are on Twitter at MA Gateway. Our great sponsors at Loot Crate. Use promo code FLAIR to save on a box of gimmicks you can't get anywhere else. At Casper, use promo code FLAIR to get $50 off. And don't forget free shipping for 100 nights of great sleep that you can't find anywhere else. At Mac Weldon, also promo code FLAIR. Save yourself some cash. You'll look good. You'll smell good. You'll dance all night.
And dance a little longer.
I like it. Jerome Fisher is on Twitter at Jerome Fisher VO. He's making our show sound unique and better than all the other podcasts around. Find out what's causing all this and follow him at Jerome Fisher VO. And of course, First Family Mortgage is at 1FMC. You can get a better mortgage right now at 1FMC.com. Rick, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate the love.
Thank you, man. It was awesome.
Don't forget, check it out, the Space Mountain t-shirt. That's what everybody's talking about, and you can get one of your own at RicFlairShow.com. We'll see you next week right here on the Ric Flair Show.
And don't be afraid to live the legend. Please.
This is the MLW Radio Network.